United States President Donald Trump's recent move to impose heavy import taxes known as tariffs have been declared illegal by the federal court in New York. Well, the decision was made by the US Court of International Trade, which ruled that Trump went beyond the powers that the law gives as a president. The judge said that only Congress, American legislative body, has the right to control and regulate the trades with other countries, not the president alone. Well, this ruling focuses on tariffs Trump introduced on April 2nd, 2025. These taxes made imported goods more expensive, with basic 10% tax on almost everything and higher rates for some countries like China and members of the European Union. Trump's team claimed that these were needed to reduce trade imbalances, meaning that when the US buys more from a country than it sells to them, and to fix what they called unfair trade. To justify these taxes, Trump used a law called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which was passed in 1977. This law gives the president certain powers to deal with real national emergencies like threats to the country's safety. But the court said that Trump's use of this law didn't fit that definition. The judge said that there were no real emergency and that he can't use the law just to make trade deals stronger or get other countries to negotiate. Interestingly, Trump's administration also tried to connect with the tariffs to a political issue in South Asia. They claim that the tariff taxes somehow helped stop a conflict between India and Pakistan after their war. However, both India and Pakistan said that the US had no role in reducing the tension. India even said that it handled the situation on its own. The judges found this particular argument really weak and irrelevant to the legality of the tariffs. The case was brought by the Liberty Justice Center along with 5 small American businesses and backed by 13 US states. They argued that the tariffs would raise prices for businesses and customers alike, hurt local industries, and were created without approval from the Congress. Well, this lawsuit was the first big legal pushback against Trump's broader tariff policies. There are still more similar cases that are waiting to be heard. The court not only struck down Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariff, but also cancelled other taxes placed on goods from China, Mexico, and Canada. Trump had said that those tariffs were meant to fight drug trafficking and illegal immigration, specifically related to fentanyl, a dangerous opioid drug. But the court said again that these taxes didn't actually respond to a clear emergency and were mostly being used for political leverage. The Trump administration strongly disagreed with the ruling, and in the meantime, officials immediately filed the appeal and said that the judges were overstepping their role. Stephen Miller, a top Trump aide, called the court's decision a judicial coup, and White House spokesperson Kush Desai said that unselected judges should not decide how the country handles emergencies. They insisted that Trump's actions were meant to protect American workers and businesses. However, financial markets reacted positively to court's decision. Stocks in Asia rose sharply and US markets also showed signs of optimism. Many investors and businesses were worried about the uncertainty that Trump's sudden tariffs had caused, but now, with the court stepping in, they feel that there's more predictability in the US trade policy. Earlier in May, the Trump administration had already started to ease some of the tariffs, specifically with China, in an attempt to work towards a new trade deal. They had even agreed to pause some taxes for 90 days. Still, they warned that court's interference could ruin these talks. But the judge said that legality of Trump's actions were the main issue here, not the effect of the ongoing negotiations. Several officials, including New York Attorney General and Oregon Attorney General, praised the court's decision. They said that these tariffs would have made everyday products more expensive, and it can also cause inflation, lead to job losses. Now, in their view, the court protected both small businesses and working families. The 3 judges who ruled this particular case were not all from the same political background. They were appointed by Ronald Reagan, Barack Obama, and even Trump himself. This shows that the ruling was not political but based on constitutional law. The judges clearly stated that even during emergencies, a president's power must have limits and they cannot ignore Congress. Well, in the end, with this ruling, Trump's ability to control the trade policies in his own way has been limited. But since the administration is appealing, the final outcome is not yet known. However, the court's decision sends a very strong message. In the United States, even the president must follow the rules and cannot bypass Congress, specifically when it comes to making major economic decisions.